And we're live.
No. Me? I always say that, and everybody's like, huh? Are we live?
We're live.
Oh, my God. Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be so much fun. We have, what the hell's your name again? Damn it. Daniel. We have Daniel with us today.
Hello.
And we got Jet on the purple couch, although he's not on camera. He's just hanging out there. He's keeping it warm and toasty over there. We have, as usual, all the hair is not on this side. It's on the other side of the screens. My God, you guys have so much hair. It's ridiculous. Show them all your hair, buddy. There he is. Hey, Dennis with the hair. There you go. Fantastic. I'm going to start sneezing any minute now. Welcome back. We have an interesting podcast. We were supposed to get we were kind of oscillating. Don't you love that word?
Oh, I love it. Very nice.
I love the English language. Poor Jets over there has like absolutely no idea what that means. You know what I mean? We could be giving out awards for all he knows. Oscars, you know? But we were, oh my God, what happened to your hair, dude? It's taken off. Oh, God, you got to show your hair on TV, dude. Just, or whatever the hell this is. Just show your hair real quick. Just don't do anything to it. Don't touch it. Just sit down and show them your hair, what's going on right there.
Get on with the damn podcast.
No, show that. No, they got to see it. Oh, my God. You just ruined it.
I ruined
What a
it.
little
It was
bastard.
perfect.
What a little bastard. Anyways, so we were going back and forth, and I think the biggest thing on everybody's mind, our students, our families, my cats, is the economy.
Yeah.
And how the economy, how everyone might be affected. And we're going to, believe it or not, this is a channel that's all about optimism as much as possible. We try to avoid all the negativity. And there's plenty of that out there. All you have to do is turn on your local news station, and you get all that. Here, not so much. I like to, look at the better side of things. But the economy, dude, it's got a lot of facets, man. Not a lot of good facets going on. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
So we have gotten a lot of emails from many of you asking, is Vegas still alive? Are the casinos still open? Are there jobs?
Busy as ever.
Well, we're here to answer all those questions. So we have a guy working at the casino right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in contact with quite a few casino managers throughout the week, more than sometimes I like to.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
I bet you are.
Some of them are great. Some of them, anyways. So we reach out. We reach out. We talk to people in different areas of the country. We have a lot of friends in different areas, and they reach out to us for either training or whatever the case is. So we thought we would that's going to be the show, dude. Me and you are going to have a little chat out, and we're going to talk this out from the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay.
And while we're doing that, we have. Do we have any announcements? We have. I will say this: if you are interested in coming to Vegas, August 17th to the 21st, we still have our birthday bash. It's all free and it's all for you, except for the hotel. The hotel you got to stay. Westgate Resorts is hosting our events. It's going to be between Casino Quest and the Westgate, which is, by the way, a fantastic hotel. And for those of you who are a little older, are our age, you remember, I was actually pretty young when Elvis died, but this used to be the home of Elvis. And Elvis used to, the Hilton.
The Hilton.
When
yeah.
it was the Hilton.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been reminiscing somehow, and we all know Google is watching and listening. Come on now. They're always watching and listening, dude. Because you'll have some random conversation, and then all of a sudden your YouTube feed, it's all about, so I was talking about Elvis. And what a mythical performer he was for many of us. I mean, when I first heard Elvis, I was like, oh my God. I was
incredible.
It was the first album I ever had, was the Elvis album that was ever given to me. My grandfather was like, dude, this is the guy. And I've never run into somebody who's like, oh no, Elvis.
Nobody.
Because there are certain singers who you like, don't like, maybe not your favorite, but Elvis, the voice, the kind of thing. But anyways, he used to play at the Hilton when it was the Hilton. Now it's the Westgate. And I will say this, as much as in the beginning, I wasn't necessarily a fan of Westgate as a timeshare taking over this property. For me, I always loved the legacy of it being in the Hilton, although it had moved on from being the Hilton a long time ago. It became the LVH. But they're doing a fantastic job with this property.
Really?
They're
I have
really
not been in there in years.
No, so it was under LVH. It fell into I would say, a little disrepair. It was nothing even close to what it used to be. But now you can see it coming back alive.
Oh,
you can see the pit coming back alive. The rooms have all been renovated, and they're these big fat rooms that Wynn went after when he opened up, when he started building hotels and Mirage. So Mirage, not so much. Mirage is a little older. They have some nice rooms, obviously, but when he first built Bellagio, those are big, fat. He went after having the biggest, fattest standard rooms, basically.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
All suites. Venetian then sort of copied, parlayed that, went to a bigger, fatter room. And then the Wynn Encore, of course, bigger, fatter rooms, some more amenities. That was the whole idea. And but Hilton was the first hotel that really offered space. You got a room there, and you knew you were in someplace special. And for those of you who got a chance to go see Elvis live there, I'm so envious. You have no idea. I was only 8 years old when he passed.
Karen's father, my wife's father, was a captain in the showroom there for 20 years during the Elvis years, and he has got stories. Some of the videos that are shot at the Hilton, the hour-long Elvis documentary / shows that he has, you can actually see his picture in the being a maitre d', putting people in seats and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, really cool. And he talked to Elvis a lot. He used to have a ton of stories about Elvis.
Well, I've always heard that he was just the nicest guy.
He was.
Like in person,
No doubt.
and with all his staff and his, everybody just, there are no bad stories about having worked with Elvis. Like everyone talks about him and just the greatest, is just the greatest human being. Not to say, I'm sure he had some moments, but, I've been, anyways, so he used to play there. That's now the Westgate, and you can see the Westgate coming back to its glory. Barry Manilow now is their sort of their top performer.
Oh, I've dealt to Barry Manilow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Is he really? I have a feeling he's, I think your mic is off. Is my mic doing it well? Am I good? Are you telling me my sound is fantastic, but his sound is not fantastic? That makes sense. Finally got this sound thing working.
Hello there.
Hey, I got my genius hat. I'm gonna trade hats throughout the show to reflect my standing, and because there's some parts of this show that are gonna be a little oofy. I don't know where the hell did all my hats go. Oh my god! I think I lost. Oh, here they are. All right, so here we got. When I'm selling shit, it's gonna be this hat. And then I got the oof hat if we have to, kind of scroll back if it's a negative oofy. But for now, I got the genius hat. I'm trying to rattle my brain, get some better thoughts going.
Let
you know
it
what I mean?
sink in.
It makes sense, doesn't it? Imagine if a hat could actually work like that. You put on the genius hat and you're like, instead of actually having to drink like vodka
Change.
or do drugs, because some people try to get into different moods with drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if all you had to do was change your hat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I mean, that would be better. That would be good. We would like that. All right. Anyways.
Then you'd know, right, when you walked up to somebody how he was going to be.
No, 100%. People would come up and they'd be like, oh, here's David in genius mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to have that conversation. You know what, though? One of my hats is going to say horny on it, though. Put that out there.
By the way, we're paid to agree with him.
Can you imagine just walking up and your hat, just like with the mood hat? That would make sense, dude. That would totally make sense. I would
Your
get that.
date would know what it was going to be like.
No, that would make
night.
things so much easier, dude. You wouldn't have to pretend anything. Be like, just read the hat and we'll just move on with everything. Hungry, you know what I mean? Bloated, can't pee today. You know what I'm saying?
I think we've gone far enough down that rabbit hole.
All right, so anyways, so we have our event August 17th to 21st. Me and Alex are hosting the event, and it's going to be a whole series of fantastic stuff. You go to CasinoQuest.biz, it's right there. It's all free. Well, not the hotel room. That was the thing. So the hotel room, you got to get in now because we're coming down to the wire. If you don't get your booking done, you may not get your booking. You might have to stay somewhere else, like a Motel 6. No one wants to be in a Motel 6. Not even
here.
Motel 6. You know what I mean? By the way, we're gonna get on that tangent in a second. The Motel 6. God, I love the Motel 6 out here, dude. Yes. So it's right behind like a truck stop area. It's
You're talking about the one over by the airport there?
the one that's towards back in
Okay,
there.
yeah.
You can get you used to be able to buy a lot of weed, a lot of drugs. Now you just
Really?
now it's legal, obviously. So they had so much problem with everybody stealing furniture. Wait, let me get to the event, and then I'll get on this next tangent. Then we're gonna
How
talk.
are we here? This
No,
is
just
about the
hold on a
recession,
second, guys. It's all
about
coming
Vegas.
down. It's all gonna make
What's
sense.
going on here?
Where are we?
Where are we? What are you gonna do? Welcome to David's podcast. I'm a little ditzy today. I didn't get a lot of sleep. My cat woke me up. Fireworks yesterday. For those of you who had animals, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Cats literally latched onto my head Every time it would go off, it would sit behind my head. I can't get any sleep. But, God bless her. I made sure to keep her close so, she felt better. All right. August 17th to 21st, the rooms are $57 during the weekday, $73 on the weekend. No resort fee and VIP check-in. You don't have to stand in line. Just come in. You're one of us. So it's a really fantastic rate because these are like suites. These are semi-suites. Mm-hmm. These are bigger rooms. They only call it a suite if it's separated into 2 rooms. This is just a big fat room,
right?
Plenty of space, and it's fantastic. We're meeting with them next week to kind of solidify everything. So we're looking forward to you guys, and we'll have a pizza party. And those of you asking, it's free. Just you're gonna come on down. We're buying the pizza. It's
perfect.
It's not going to be, my mother might make it.
We're not going to get you there and try to get money out of you. You
No.
come down, you'll have a good time. It won't
We're going to
cost you a lot
slap
of money.
some sauce on a few tacos and roll it in here, dude. It's cheap, nice and easy. No, we're going to get some nice stuff, and we're going to have a wonderful party. Everything else is free, other than the money you want to spend to gamble. Dennis and Jet still have their money from the event that we weren't able to play out because of that casino who won't mention screwed us over. But they still have their money to play, so we're doing that buy-in all over again, dude.
That'll be good.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
A lot of fun.
Except Dennis actually has more money now, Dennis. How did you get your more money, buddy? How did it happen? What happened? Is that it?
That sounds like there's a story here.
Oh. So right after that event, at that night, we had to stop off.
No, it was not the same night.
Right,
I was way too drunk for that to be the same night.
It was the next night. Okay, fine. We stop in at Dottie's. We play in Keno, and 2 minutes in, he hits for $600. 2 minutes in, he can never live that down. I keep bringing it up. I'll probably bring it up forever. Whenever there's an audience, I'll bring it. All right. So here's the thing. I'm gonna do the Motel 6 thing. I gotta share this Motel 6 story with you. Because it's so Vegas, it makes sense. So Motel 6, is a little low bar. You go there and you get a cheap room. It's basically a room. If you're planning on being in Vegas, it's a motel room, inexpensive. But here in Vegas, they had so many problems with people stealing everything out of the room. They redid the rooms. Now here's the greatest thing about the Motel 6 rooms out here. So me and my buddy, who I think is one of the funniest people on the planet, right? We're looking for another friend of ours who's, has a little drug problem.
Okay.
And the first place we go is this area back there, where it curves around.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of shit going on down there, back there, okay? I'm just saying, okay? And so we're parked in that Motel 6 parking lot, and all of a sudden we see this lady, she's a housekeeper, and she's just hosing the room down. And I'm like, what's going on here? There's a bed in there. How can you just hose the room down?
See, now there's a basic difference between us. If I go somewhere and somebody's hosing a room down, I don't want to know what happened. I don't want to know.
Well, we're curious. How do you hose down a hotel room? What is this lady doing with the hose? So we creep up as to not scare the lady, because we're just so curious. Why is this going on? I'm a spectator of life. I like to view life in real time. You know what I mean? And it turns out they've renovated all the Motel 6 rooms, so it's basically just a big container. Everything is set back into, first of all, everything is attached to the walls, and they have one big floor enclosure. Even the TVs are recessed into the wall. So there's no shot.
That is weird.
No, the bed, everything. So they put a little cover on the bed. Even the bed, you cannot. Who was taking beds out of here? Like, who is stealing the beds out of the Motel 6?
Can you imagine?
No, you can't. There's no stool. There's no seat. Everything is attached. Even the stool, there is a seat in there.
But
and there's
it's
a little
nailed
counter.
to the floor.
It's literally part of the...
Oh, my goodness.
But they made it in such a way that it's so cool. And it's hardwood floors or, the synthetic floors. And
Thus
she's just...
the hosing.
And she's like, oh, my God, this is the best thing. She's just spraying it down. It makes so much sense. You know what I mean?
Does. You see that in Europe in bathrooms a lot. They'll have a drain set in the floor, and they just go and hose the bathroom down. And it's tile
perfect.
everywhere.
We need more. I want to do that with my house.
Hell yeah. My kitchen would
just
be
like
great.
that easy. Anyways, all right. So first, let's say hello to everybody. Do we have anybody? Does anybody even know that we're here?
Wait. We're 16 minutes in, and you're barely saying hello.
16 minutes in? Oh, my God. Holy smokes, do I got on a tangent. All right, well, let's say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody.
You've been drinking coffee today,
I have been
you?
drinking a lot of coffee. I'm all amped up, buddy. You're going to have to really interject. Nah, it's almost done now.
Empty.
It is empty. Our new Casino Quest mugs. We're trying to figure out a way to ship the hell these. All right, let's talk about the economy.
Okay.
Let's talk about the impact
Well,
on the casino. Yes,
Before you
sir?
get too far,
Okay, go.
Robert Barnes says I got recognized with his new CQ hat at a local casino.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I know we gave. Yeah. You have the nice new hat, huh, buddy? Those are nice, dude. They fit the biggest heads possible, dude. They literally fit. By the way, they fit Jet's head. He's got a lot of hair, so he's got like 2 heads. Oh crap! I see how that went south. Alex has a big head. It fits his head. They're really. Well, I have it over here. This is the new hat. It's fantastic. All right. Well, anyways, everyone tells me I try selling. I'm like too much like QVC, so I'm not gonna do that today. I'm not gonna do it.
D1 Keys uses his member free chat thing.
Oh, really?
He says, "Hi guys, I just watched last week's podcast. I'm in the same life stage and part of the country as Matt, and would love to be able to reach out to him."
As who?
Matt. Which Matt? There's 2 Mats.
Yeah, we have a lot of Matts. We have a ton of Matts. All right, so let's get to the whole economy thing.
I got one more thing.
Oh, one more?
Alatoy gave us $5. Says, "Sticky, are you done inventorying the 5 boxes of shipping labels?" As Alex
No,
says.
and by the way, Alan, we got a message out. The text. Listen, hey, Alan. Alex has been really dropping the ball with you, buddy. We're gonna have to give him some shit. But
No. You just gotta pretend like we sent it out. It got lost in the mail, Alan.
Yeah,
it just got
sure.
lost in the mail.
No,
I don't
that's
know
not
what you're talking
happened.
about.
We'll chat, buddy. We're supposed to text you today. We love Alan. We love you, buddy, and we're gonna take good care of you. No worries. All right. So let's get to it. We're gonna talk. So the big question is, obviously there's a lot of negative news on casino gaming, and me and you are just gonna have this kind of open discussion, and kind of break it down into its little points and see where we go with this. So the biggest one obviously is, so if you don't already know, about 40% of the people that come to Vegas come from California. They drive in here on the weekends, and they're responsible for a whole lot of business. So Dan, so have you seen a reduction in the number of business that's in your casino?
Yeah, no question, especially during the daytime. In fact, all the way around, we're getting less travelers in from California. I think the gas prices are really affecting it. There is definitely a difference.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, a great promotion for a casino would be to discount people's gas going home
Or rebate. If you
absolutely.
show up and with a gas receipt, do you know who used to do that? Prim. Prim
great
used to do
idea.
that. Used to drive out to Prim and they'd be like, "Here's your gas money back."
Wow.
They would literally give you that you had a promotion, and
That'd
they would give
work
you,
today.
They didn't give you a lot. It was like $10, $20, but it definitely.
Pays
if you
for the
came from
gas.
Vegas, you know what I mean. You weren't just driving through from California. I'm pretty sure State Line did it as well.
Sure.
Like they would give you a discount on a room, which is, if you think about it, that's kind of genius, right?
That is. It's especially today.
So interestingly, even though California traffic has tapered off, right? And I have heard that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's $6
No
a
doubt.
gallon, or higher. If you're coming from San Francisco, start walking, dude. It's I mean, the
lot.
gas from there is like, oh my god. I think everything is just ridiculously
You would think
expensive
being
in
right
San
on the
Francisco.
coast, it wouldn't be that expensive. But
John
it's
lives out there in San
outrageous.
Francisco. I don't know who the hell at this point. You're risking your life. You're literally there risking your life every day. The big one may hit any time, and you're paying a premium.
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap, dude! I don't understand. It's a lot. It's very hilly. Everybody there has got to have like ridiculous calves. What do you think? Walking up and down all those hills.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
climbing
really.
everywhere.
I mean, really, you're just walking up and down the hills, and then you're getting on the rice-a-roni trailers, traveling around town. I love that. Was my biggest excitement was getting on the rice-a-roni trolley. Dude.
The trolleys were a lot. Of
And I
fun.
was depressed that rice-a-roni wasn't actually on the flipping trolley, dude. What the hell happened?
Did you
They
think
lost
they were
that
gonna feed you?
sponsorship. Because it used to be their commercial, man. I don't know what happened. All right, so
The San Francisco treat.
so here's the thing though, but casino action in general has not been impacted.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, we're having a slow summer. That's not uncommon, but it's still record profits.
Here at Casino Quest, we have been busy. So Alex went on a little vacation and telling us, yeah, it's going to be slow, not a big holiday, 4th of July, we're expecting less people. packed. We literally were bent over the tables. I had a deal. At one point, I had a deal for almost 4 hours myself.
Wow.
Which it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's not like I'm just doing nothing. I got other shit to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's 4 hours of talking and explaining.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're telling me, buddy. Wow. You know. I think we're on 2 different tracks. All right. Well, anyways, Dennis,
What?
you got any questions out there yet? Anybody talking to us? Anybody
That
saying
was like
anything?
a weird like segue there.
I know because
that-
I see your head go up every now and then, like, and then I'm like thinking that you're reading something, and I don't want to leave anybody behind, dude. I want everybody to be joining us on this journey as we unpack the realities of Vegas. All right, so interestingly, the toke rate dropped a little bit. It always drops a little bit. Toke rate by that, I mean tip rate here in Vegas drops a little bit this time of year leading up to 4th of July. And then over the next couple of weeks, it kind of middles out, and then casinos really. So in this part of the year, casinos try to accumulate as much staff as possible, and then once the end of summer comes, you know, the casinos start getting really busy, right? And it's a combination of things. It's one, it's either the older kids are back from like camp, stuff like this, and now they're going family vacations, or they now have they're now in like babysitter school mode, so the parents are free to come to Vegas and have a good time or whatever the case is. But so we're definitely seeing, so the casinos themselves have not lightened up they're still aggressively recruiting.
No doubt about it. They're
Right?
hiring everywhere I know.
Dude,
No doubt about it.
we have a 3-month dealer that got hired at the Nugget as a dual rate.
Oh, as a
dual
dual
rate,
rate?
yeah.
A 3-month dealer.
I kid you not.
Wow.
Man. I mean, if that doesn't tell you a lot, like it used to be, you couldn't get into the Nugget with less than a couple of years experience. They wouldn't even look at you.
And even then, you had to have friends. I mean, it was not easy.
I referred someone to a casino today, and within 5 minutes, they had him on the phone. The casino recruited him literally on the telephone. He hadn't even finished his app. He couldn't believe it. They set up the interview for tomorrow, and they said, as long as you're able to get around the table, we'll hire you on the spot.
Wow.
Which is really unusual because casinos typically don't, they need 2 degrees of separation. They usually don't commit to that, but they're so desperate to get you in the door and
You got to
get you
see an
auditioning.
audition. Until someone actually deals right in front of you, you have no idea how good they
As
are.
much as, so I referred those persons, so I wouldn't
They
have
had a little
referred them.
faith.
They had a little faith in me, but still, if I'm a casino, I'm waiting till that person, you know, because maybe there's something off or something. But I got to tell you, as much as, you know, I love this person's a great dealer, it's going to be fine. I was very surprised that she committed to hiring him on the spot. It used to be casinos did that. That wasn't a thing, but nowadays it's a couple degrees of separation, you know. But so what do you think? So you think that overall, you think that we're going to follow the same path? I mean, do you think that the casinos are going to stay busy? That
I think they
ramping
are.
up?
Yeah, there is no sign that anything's letting off. Not at all. For everyone that's having a hard time during the pandemic, there's another person that did well, made a lot of money. Stocks in certain areas are up, and there's money around. And there's a lot of businesses that have taken the pandemic as an opportunity, and they've changed the way they work, and they're making more money than ever. And I talk to people all the time that feel ashamed because they came out of the pandemic with more money than they had before, and those people want to go do something fun.
Yeah.
They're out there.
I got to tell you, the restaurants are still busy. You still got to get a reservation. It's lightened up a little bit because this time of year it does, so you can get in a little easier. But it's strange because we listen, we see the news, and every day it's so negative. Most of the news is like, you know, the market's going to take, recession's coming, inflation, all these things are hitting up against
you hear all this
demand.
negative stuff, and then you look at the profits in Vegas, and they're higher than they've ever been.
Yeah, it's quite literally off the charts. So we're still doing great. I am a little nervous, I have to say. I was here in 2008. That was a tough couple of years for Vegas to get through. I was involved in politics at the time, and there was a union out here that had a list. It was the saddest thing I'd ever seen because there was a list of 2,000 people on that list who were on standby, who needed work. and many of them, and that was the list of actual people
in the union, workers.
Union. So I came across this because I was affiliated with a group that was working on the convention support. So they worked with plumbers and pipe fitters, and then there was the electricians and all the people that go into staffing or setting up these kinds of events.
Conventions, yeah.
And most of these conventions use union labor.
Sure.
There are workarounds for small things, but for the most part, these big conventions go to the unions. And I had someone who I was fairly close to that came from out of state. And normally, if you're like a top grade electrician, man, they'll hire you. There's always a job. So I literally took him down myself to this union hall to get him signed up. I just happened to know where it is. And the lady I was like, so you got to fill out a card and submit your information, and then normally you get some kind of receipt, and they put you on the list. And she's like, honey, it's 2,000 people ahead of your friend. The likelihood of him getting any work is almost next to nothing. I just couldn't believe it. I was so stunned that this was going on. So I will say that I have a lot of trepidation because I know what the town went through then. But I do think there's a lot of material differences. One is, I agree with you. I think not everybody donked it out during the pandemic. People put some of this money aside, the stimulus money. Some people collected a whole bunch of stimulus money, depending upon your background, and you sat around at home with nothing to spend it on. You know what I mean?
Well,
it wasn't like you had an opportunity to go out and eat or do anything really. You
Party
just paid
with
your
your
bill.
friends.
No, we were all stuck at home.
Yeah.
Right. I actually was able to save up some money myself, and not all stocks are getting whacked. So when they talk about the Dow down, Dow Industrial is just a snapshot of so many stocks, right?
It's over the average.
So those of us who are in a little diversified, it was amazing because today, of course, the stock market got whacked. That was the first thing I saw, but I had a few stocks that did well. Some consumer spending areas, and one of them is an entertainment stock. So I have an investment. I bought into a company called Drive Shack, which is a competitor to Topgolf. They're not in Vegas yet, but I think eventually they might have some space here. But they basically do what Topgolf does, but in a cheaper way. They're like the discount version of Topgolf, really.
And explain what Topgolf is, Tim.
So Topgolf is indoor driving range they have here in Vegas. It's become wildly successful, by the way. And you go there and you can eat and have fun and you get your own bay. The great thing about Drive Shack and Topgolf, for that matter, it's very sort of COVID friendly because these were built as you get your own bay.
Right.
You play with a digital screen, so you just show up and it's already sectioned off. You know what I mean? It's one of these things that you can do that's literally
basically like a giant vending machine. You throw your credit card in and you're off and rolling.
Yeah, so you still have to show up, but you get like your own bowling alley, let's say, and then you play on it. It's all digital. You swing an actual golf club, and so there's. But anyway, so Drive Shack went up today. It's still depressed over time, but that tells me people are still spending money. People have to get out the house, and unemployment is so low. And in many cases, like even here, we've had to up the ante. Most businesses have had to give people more money to stay and to be, because we don't want to risk losing any of our employees, period. We're already understaffed. We were already having to, work around,
Sure.
I mean, Alex is bent over a table right now, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I saw him out there working.
Yeah, so I mean, we've had
dealing roulette. I was jealous.
So if that's true, I mean, I don't see 2008 being a thing. And what I do like, go ahead.
It's not going to happen. It's just not. Even 2008, as bad as that was, how long did it last? 4 years? 3 years? Really?
I mean, it lasted. So the one interesting thing that happened is the casinos really dug deep when it came to incentivizing people coming to Vegas. You had really low. I even saw $1 tables get reintroduced in some cases.
Wow.
They were giving out a lot of free buffets. Vegas went to that lowest common denominator again, which most of us love, by the way.
Get the people in
the door
and make them happy.
Yeah, stop charging hundreds of dollars for food. You know what I mean?
Parking
and everything else. And of course that went bye. But what we are seeing now is there's a casino the other day that had a $3 table, not a strip casino obviously, or a downtown property for that matter. But so the one thing I do think is healthy is this sort of pullback. And casinos are very quick to reinvent themselves, but I love that the interesting thing about in Vegas recently is the monopolies that existed are being demonopolized.
They're being broken up.
Broken up, and you have more owners now playing a role on the Strip, more competition. And I think you're going to see more $5 games, which everybody would love. Remember when we were looking for dollar games? Now we want to see $5 games. Yeah. And we're going to see more affordable food choices. So this fast casual food thing is sort of making a spin. I'm not saying like, food courts per se, but like what Resorts World did.
Right.
A Resorts World put this sort of high-end, foofy-ass food. Now, interestingly, they started out a little expensive.
Right, I heard that.
And now they've lowered their they've made it much more affordable. By the way, we have loved playing there. When I went there, I was really unsure when we first made contact with Resort. When they first opened, they opened under incredibly difficult circumstances, and I have to tell you, the offerings were limited for me.
Right.
But now I go in there and I'm like, holy crap, the place is crowded. I've gotten so much cash back, it's not even funny. I'm guessing it's just like an introductory thing.
Uh-huh.
I've never seen this level of cash back at a casino, especially for locals. The food choices are tremendous.
And what a great idea. Get the locals in there. This
100%.
is a resource. So many of these casinos just right off the bat. It's
So I think that in some respect, as long as it doesn't make too big, I think that a recession is not the worst thing for us.
Nope.
I think that pulling back on some of these sort of known commodities is not the worst thing. Restaurants are obviously supply, logistics, all these things, but there's so much premium on food here. I wouldn't mind paying less than $25 for a lobster roll.
When I first started working in the gaming industry, I would stand on my game and watch the people walk by, and once in a great while, maybe 2 or 3 times a night, you'd see a pizza go by. Now, I stand in the same spot and I watch people go by, and every 4th person's got a bag of fast food, a pizza, something.
Yeah.
And every one of those is money out of the casino's pocket. They're going out and ordering fast food to get delivered to a casino in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And they're not eating in the casino. This is a loss. They should have some kind of restaurant where the people that just want a quick meal to feed the kids and get something to eat can get that.
I know, that's why. So Caesar's Palace is a great example. They redid their food court that they had, which was a bit high end actually. It was kind of nice.
That was the one right next to the band there in the open area, right? Am I thinking the
Yeah,
same
well,
place?
if you come in on the other side of the garage now, God, that place has been wholly redone. Remember, they used to have this big, they had like an Italian fast food thing. It was the very first thing, and then they had other stuff, a few other things. But now they have quite a few fast casual, high end, higher end stuff. But at least it's still more affordable than eating at a restaurant at the Forum Shops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can get the food quickly, and you can sit in a sort of a consolidated space. It's really easy to get to. I think that is going to be a big win in general, and that's why I think the casinos now you gotta have faith in Vegas. Vegas always returns. Vegas always goes big, and now we're just gonna settle in, and none of the new investments have slowed or stopped. Fertitta just bought a big fat piece of land on the south side of the Strip.
Oh, really?
Not the cousin, the one that owns Golden Nugget, not the station Fertitta. So most of us in gaming here, we know Alonzo and Tony. Is it Alonzo, Frank and Alonzo? Actually, who started Station Casinos. But they have a cousin who is literally just as successful, maybe even more successful, I'm not really sure, who owns the Golden Nuggets, the Golden Nugget Casino downtown. And also owns one of the steakhouses. I forget which steakhouse, but he owns like a trucking company. Has all these. He even had a reality show on Bravo, I believe, for a while about his sort of empire, business empire. But he is now invested into. So he's downtown, and now he's building something on this very far south side, closer to Blue Diamond. So he bought a whole thing there, resort quarter, and they're looking to go upscale, property. You also have a few properties on the Strip here local on the north side have changed hands recently. Again, all high-end boutique. Is a boutique hotel opening soon, a boutique casino. So all the investments are coming in fast and furious. None of that has slowed.
And some of these big conglomerates that own multiple hotels are selling off some of their lower end, and you're getting more investment. And the more people that own casinos, the more ideas that are out there, the more change you're going to see, and it's going to improve everything.
So I think the next vein of this. So I do believe that there's the recession will happen. I think people have less money, but I think in Vegas it'll be somewhat muted. I really wish they would figure out the plane situation, because that has me more nervous than anything else. All these cancellations of planes.
It's horrible.
Because that's the primary way we get tourists into Vegas.
And a lot of people cannot afford to not get home on time.
Right.
You know, if you're going back to a job, I flew on a trip a couple of weeks back, and it happened. We got our flight canceled. We were stuck another couple of days. It cost a little bit of money, and it was not a great thing. If I'd had to go back to work, it would have been disastrous.
Disaster. All right, ready?
Disaster.
All right, so here's the thing. So what about the job market here? You think the job market's going to stay strong?
Oh,
Well,
it's strong.
before we jump to that,
Oh, wait a minute. Hold
I
up
do
a
have
second.
some questions.
Yes.
Question for David.
Yes.
When is the cutoff scheduling rooms for the birthday bash?
So I'm meeting with her on the 11th. I don't really know exactly what that is, but I'm guessing at some point they got to release these rooms. They've been saving rooms for us at this rate, and at some point they're going to have to release these rooms and let them go. I would say if you're on the fence about it at all, get off the fence and book. So at least within the next week or two, and we'll keep you updated. The answer is I don't know.
Boy, those should be really nice rooms too.
Yeah. No, we're 100% committed to it, so we think this is the best property for us by far. We think we're going to have a lot of fun. The staff, the team that works there is just absolutely fantastic. They don't take anything lying down. They've been on point with literally everything.
Oh, that's great.
And they've followed up. They follow up like instantly. They really are fantastic. We did have, for those of you who have reached out for a room and didn't hear back, Caitlin was actually sick for a minute, and so now she's back. So there was a slight delay in her following up on emails because she was literally handling those personally for our group. So we apologize for that, but everything should be cleared up. She should be caught up. Everything should be good. So you might have missed like a day or two. There were a few people who said, hey, we weren't able to get a hold of her, but that's all passed now.
Good.
So just know that, go to that birthday bash page, RSVP, all the events, the times. We may be adding more events. So Lauren wants to do more bingo. So there's that. And those of you who, I didn't put Keno on there. I've been getting asked a lot. Not really a lot for Keno. Yeah, I don't want to but hey, if you're, what are you going to do? Hey.
Next question is from Alan Toy. Says, will casinos offer signing bonuses for new dealers?
Oh, 100%, dude. That's going on right now.
Is it really?
Yes. So I will tell you this. The best casinos we have out here aren't really offering bonuses. They don't need to because, you're going to make a ton of money. There are some casinos that are offering sign-on bonuses. Some of them are like if you go to our school, they give you redemption on the school money if you get hired by them, or they have a retention bonus after 90 days or whatever the case is. They give you a bonus. So there is that. There are some very low-end properties who are giving outrageous sums of money for you to come work for them because they're existentially existential threat is that they have to close a pit. They can't even open because they have no dealers. So they're offering, gobs of money to keep your pit open. And so there is that. You'd have to ask me that on an individual basis. I will tell you this. If you come to our school, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass, and I'm not going to refer you to a casino that I don't think you should work at. So if I've been involved in this town for many years. I pretty much, there are most casinos I'm intimately aware of on one level or another. And if I can't convince you that I'm your advocate, then that's not a thing, And I definitely have people who are like, listen, I want to go here, and I will send you wherever you want to go ultimately, right? But my conversation with you is going to be very direct. It's going to be very honest. So I tend not to include the money incentive as part of the conversation because I feel it distracts from the real reason. And most of it's not life-changing money.
Yeah, and when you're talking about a whole career, $500 is not going to make a difference. Over 30 years, to me today, $500 is absolutely nothing. And your break-in job is really important for your future career. Where you're going to end up at the end has a lot to do with where you start out. And a lot of people don't get that.
Well, there's one casino that'll give you $500 after 90 days, but you'll make more than that going to another casino job that I give you. You know what I mean?
After 90 days.
So that's not much of incentive. Not to say there's a takeaway from that casino. There's still a good opportunity for the right person. but they're offering incentives for a reason, right? So some of them are really just trying to up the ante. What we need is some of the bigger casinos. I think in a minute, we're kind of hanging out waiting. Casinos are going to run into some real problems and recruiting and training and finding people who are willing to check in. It's strange because there are some properties out there who want to offer, like a dealer training program. The problem is it doesn't get you ready or set for any other, it's, let me say this, you ready? It is an absolute waste of time. If you want to go and go through a training program and get hired by that casino and stay at that casino, there you go. That's your opportunity.
But no casino that's worth its salt is going to take a break-in dealer that just learned the deal. So you're not in the casino you're going to spend the rest of your life, and they're only going to teach you to do what they do at their casino, which could be different at every other casino in town. So you're going to look like an idiot when you try to go do an audition.
Thank you, sir. I'll pay you later. I got you. Anyways, so that's why we're here. And by the way, we're changing the model of our school to a premium model. We want people that come to our school to get the best possible education, have the best possible job network, and play a role. You're going to be seeing so many changes, thanks to you guys, thanks to Patreon, thanks to all of you who support us on Discord and throughout all of our. We are trying to change the game. We want players to be educated and come with all the tools they need to have the best possible opportunity, create the most opportunity. And those of you looking for a career in gaming, we're going to create so many resources for you. It's going to be, just a fantastic win. We're working on a national job board. We're working on some, great networking opportunities. We're opening another school in another state. We're actually going out in about 2 weeks to research those locations. And, we have this new learning management system that we're coming out with in the near future. And if you've been following us for DICE, I know a lot of you, we got DICE coming. And we got colors and units, and I'll put my DICE course up against anyone else. The same way, by the way, that this young man teaches young man. He teaches SR. He's literally that good. He's literally the best SR instructor. We've had some great SR instructors, no takeaway, but he's really that good.
Well, I appreciate that.
I mean, it's true, and so we will. It's just so hard to. Anyways, let's move on. I can go on this tangent forever. All right, what else you got? You got anything else?
I forgot who asked this, but earlier someone was asking, why are they canceling flights? They don't.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's
a staffing thing. Let's be
honest.
honest.
A scheduling problem. It's one of the glitches in the app.
Yeah, you've only got so many pilots. One pilot calls in sick, you've got to cancel a flight. Period. They don't have tons of extras backed up in the city that they need that.
And they don't pay what they used to, which I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It used to be you were a pilot and you were making bank. Nowadays, I think it depends on the airline or where you work.
And I guarantee with COVID around, if you look at the days of sick call that you're getting for any particular business, there are more than there ever have been. I've myself missed more days for COVID and being, all the different things than I'd ever missed before. And that affects every business, and it's going to make cancellations. That's why you go into casinos and there are games closed.
And people call in sick now. It's so easy. They're like, you know what? I got COVID. What are you supposed to do?
And they don't give you points for it. So
you're just screwed.
You're done. Yeah.
All right. Well, so there's a few other things that are big that are affecting us here. One of them is
one more thing.
Wait. Oh, one more go.
Neo gave us $2. Says, how do we sign up for the early players card?
The which one?
The early players card.
We're working on that. Oh my God.
Good question.
We have a lot of work to do. We do have a player's card, a physical card that we want to give you guys. So you have it. And what one of the things that we're revolving is, especially as we open, we're going to open another Casino Quest, maybe 2 more in the first of next year. And so what we'd really love is, as you make contact with us, you get a player's card so that you get a cheaper rate whenever you use our facilities. But then when you want to come to Vegas, or really any casino that's part of our network, there's 2 things I want to give you that I think are just the easiest wins. The first is you get the room without a resort fee, but while still getting the basic benefit of Wi-Fi, because most of us aren't going to use anything else but the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
So the deal is this: you're part of us. We're trying to create opportunity for you, right? And you come as Casino Quest, and hey, how much is my room? And give me the Wi-Fi. Stop messing around. Our Casino Quest is all about getting away from all the silly stuff and moving to this stuff that either creates
that
opportunity.
resort fee is silly.
It's silly, dude.
It's ridiculous.
It really is. I mean,
it's all a bunch of the things that they used to give you free at any hotel you stayed at, and they just figured out a way to charge you $40 a night, $30 a night,
or just paid a la carte. That's why I want to take my stinky ass feet down to the spa. They offered me a spa day on that. What's funny is that some of them have a spa locker you get. So you can access the spa locker, which isn't in your room, by the way. You got to walk down. So there's a few casinos here, network casinos, okay, big. And so what they do is one of the amenities they have as part of the resort fee is you get access to a free spa locker. Assuming, of course, you're going to go to the spa. And then you're going to have the spa locker.
So now you have to pay for the spa, but as an added benefit, after you've paid for the spa, you get to have a locker.
So here's the deal. There's this one place I know of, okay, won't mention because we had someone who used to be a masseuse there, and was talking about how what they do is they let you use the wading pool. So inside one of the locker rooms is a little wading pool. And so you can use a wading pool because it's silly to walk all the way down there. Deep. And I want to just walk down there in like just this ridiculous, my whitey tighties.
The big rubber ducky around you.
Yeah. Take out my, you know what I mean? Hey, this is part of my resort fee. I mean, how many of you have actually used the spa locker? I mean, come in. So if you start using it, just take one of your moments, use the spa locker, and just, get that value, dude.
What
just
you need to do,
over.
one step more, is when you have one of our functions at a place like that, have the whole group show up.
Oh, yeah, like everybody. Yeah, here, 150 people down at the spa. What I want to do is just use the bathroom at the spa, dude. Just literally eat some broccoli and some eggs and just
this
go
is your
tear
goal
it up.
in life?
Not really, no. But so, all right, so the card is basically, you come in the card, you're like a AAA type of thing, okay? You get, you don't necessarily going to get the cheapest room. Obviously, the rooms will fluctuate, but man, just to knock off that resort fee, that's like half the room rate in some places, right? You get the Wi-Fi. The other thing is that I would really love to do, and I used to have a friend of mine who was he was a hotel operations boss. He was the hotel operations boss for quite a few hotels in town. And the biggest complaint is always the waiting, dude. It's always sitting there. Yeah. You show up for your booking and your room reservation, and then you got the flipping line. So instead of don't give our people, just let them cut the line.
Give them a line pass.
Let them go in the front of the line so they can get to their room and start their vacation. Those two things are the two things I'm working on the hardest. And by the way, Westgate gave us those right out the gate. Dude.
Oh, very nice.
No resort fee, no waiting in line. You book through. You don't have to be. You're part of our network, so we know you're gamblers. We know you want to play. We know you want to create opportunity, be part of the casino environment. You follow? We don't have to pre-qualify you. If you're following us and you're not gambling, I mean that's great too, right? But if you're coming to Vegas to be part, you're probably going to spend a little money. And so, we're happy to have you. So that's really where this whole thing is going with the card. And we're evolving that. Man, we've been so short-staffed that we're finally getting ahead of a few things, me and Dennis and a few other people, but we really have been busy this last holiday. This is the slowest it's ever been at the store, and we're already doing well. So we've met all of our, we grew again this month. Last month was our best month ever so far. I have this report that I have to submit, and I'm just unbelievably stunned
how good
that we had. We had a lot of people come out and start buying merch, and we made a real big risk in buying, the shirts and upgrading the quality of the shirts, stuff like this, and it's starting to pay off. We have these cases coming too that we really took a risk on, which I'm hoping will translate. So, us being in the business, we're starting to buy things that we think other people will want that are quality, things that they can use to carry their checks. We have the mini layouts.
That's a great idea, yeah.
So we've been working on the dealer kits, but not just dealer kits. But we want the whole kit. We want you to literally
like a
show
shoe
up.
And a
Wait till I'll show it to you later. I
that's
have it
great.
in the background here, but we're evolving all this stuff for you guys.
You could show up at a party, flip it out, pull the layout out, and start your game. Yeah.
In fact, they're right next to you, sir. They're in that box. Those are the test samples.
Oh, very cool. I know what I'm ripping open in a few minutes.
All right. So are we good? Can we? You want us to move on? Do we have any more questions?
Last one is from D1 Keys. Gave us $1.99.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Says, is Las Vegas concerned about Lake Mead? What is the future?
We are all concerned about Lake
Yeah.
Mead. It is horrendous looking. If you've been out there,
Yep.
it does not look like it did when I was a kid. No way, shape, or form.
So that is it looks really disturbing when you go out there. But I will tell you this, Vegas and Nevada has really stayed ahead of the curve. And we built infrastructure. Our water district is really on top of things.
They really
So
are.
If you look at, I read a lot. And so I do the deep dive. I like to actually have information, and I've always had a lot of anxiety. If you've lived here for any length of time, you can see where Lake Mead. You used to be able to go over those bridges, those pier things, and just reach out, and the water is literally right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could drop something, it would be just literally right there. Now you can't. I mean, it's just way down there. But I will say that we use less than what we are allotted. Number one. So our allotment is well within proportion. So in terms of because we have a deal obviously with some other states and how much water we can use. Our biggest
Actually, Las Vegas's main water supply is not Lake Mead. People don't realize that. We
Yeah.
use groundwater. There are wells
Yeah.
in this city,
Yeah.
and
you go to Sandy Valley, you go anywhere outside of Vegas, and a lot of it's well water.
Yep.
You
it
basically
does
drill
not
a
make
well.
Lake Mead water.
They won't even let you build a house unless you have to prove that you can actually drill and find water. You know what's interesting is most of Vegas, the water is reclaimed, a gross majority. Like for example, when you shower and use tap water here, over 90% of that water is reclaimed. The one problem that we have is that Henderson Lakes, so that might become a problem because they built this massive lake out here, and man-made lake, and
Which
a lot of that water
means huge evaporation. You lose
evaporates.
a lot
That's
of
our
water.
biggest problem is that. But luckily, we're not growing, making almond milk. You know what I mean? I mean, we're not.
Is that the worst?
We're
Let's
bringing
make
that
some
in.
rich guy lots of money.
We're bringing that in from somewhere where it's not supposed to grow, and we're
Yep.
just we're
Southern California, and honestly, a huge amount of the water that comes out of the Colorado River, which is included with Lake Mead, goes to California. It's used for agriculture, and people think Vegas is using it, but we really don't use that much water out of Lake Mead. We filter a lot of our water. Our water in this city gets used once, twice, maybe 3 times before it hits, and when it actually goes into Lake Mead.
So we're worried, but if you drill down and you look into the sort of the facts and where we're at, I'm not too worried. I really do think that they will figure it out. I know that there's new technology on the horizon. For example, that Israel has been using, whole countries have been using to deal with some of the desalination,
Yep.
things like that. I know that LA County just sort of didn't approve it, said no, we don't want to use that. They went another route, but I think ultimately we're going to be back-ended into.
There's going to be
finding solutions.
desalination. They're going to have to do that.
And
everywhere. No doubt
we're
about
gonna have to build some pipes and things will happen. But I don't think that it's that big. It looks terrible, by the way. If you go out there, it looks really depressing. There's no doubt about it. Especially if you've done any kind of water activities on Lake Mead. You've ever been out in a boat?
It's not the same.
It's not, because I mean you can look and see where the water is. How many times they've had to move that marina.
And God, does it smell bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So it
The
is a little
mud is-
depressing, but I mean Vegas Vegas is here to stay. I mean, unless something
Oh,
else
no.
happens,
Yeah.
there is that.
Even if Lake Mead went away, Vegas would survive. Again, most of our water is not pulled out of Lake Mead.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Another super chat, $5
Yeah, go.
from
Yes,
Greg
thank you.
says, I want a casino quest hat, so when I go to the casino, I can show you guys off and get PTSD on.
Fantastic.
And then there was an interesting question to
yes.
the topic, was what is Vegas like back in 2008 and 2009? What do we expect the upcoming next 2 years?
It was depressing.
Nervous. Everyone was nervous.
If there were a lot of people that got unemployed, there was a lot of layoffs. Casinos started making big decisions on boxmen and floor supervisors. So a lot of supervisors, salaried employee, got whacked. Casinos really cut back. I know when I was doing an audit, that was literally the time frame, and they were doing anything they could to justify getting rid of boxmen and having floor supervisors just run up and down 8 games. I
Yep.
mean, it was just ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Which is that's not even a workable thing. I mean,
You're not a floorman anymore when you're doing that.
no,
You're
you
just
have
an
too many
accountant.
games. Yeah, you're just punching players' card.
Yep.
And then you also saw a complete change, evolution of how the player was, managed in terms of, comms. No more open comms, no more just, hey, here, we're going to take care of you. Everything went to points. They worked out the algorithm for the points, and the dynamic changed in how, how people, there was just no money. Tables were short, dealer tokes were less. The number of jobs I can tell you that were over the mid 5-figure range was maybe half of what's now. The $100,000 jobs were very few. And it definitely was, housing starts were down. A lot of people in various parts of the industry were affected, in a very negative way. So there's that. It was tough, man. I was involved with a lot of groups that were really responsible for reaching out. And it was amazing the number of things that changed, even as far as like our state constitution. Everybody was in panic mode. There was no money, so
everybody was upside down in their homes. Everyone that owned a home in the Vegas Valley owed more than the home was worth.
Yeah. So the legislator, that's an interesting thing. I actually happen to have some unique perspective on the housing part of it. So a constitutional amendment was made to cap the what you would pay in terms of property tax, okay, based on the value of your house, right? And so it ultimately it backfired a little way because these houses got depressed so much. This law passes, or this constitutional amendment gets passed, and so this new tax base gets put on all these houses, much less than what it used to. You follow? And now all of a sudden, all these houses are worth a ton of money, but yet because they have this cap in place, this 3% cap, these rates have never gone back. So the tax fund, right? Even though Vegas has gotten back to where it sort of was with gaming revenue and hotel room tax, but the tax base was lowered a lot because of 2008,
which affects our infrastructure,
which affected our infrastructure. Now it's amazing, but the biggest deficit we experienced was our rainy day fund. Was our ability for us to put money aside. And that's where we started literally having conversations about like a lottery, other ways for us to accumulate, some kind of money, because we don't have a lottery. We don't have a state lottery.
And I wonder if that generated a lot of these pro teams that ended up here.
Well, I was part of a team of legislators that were literally having active discussions about this constitutional amendment. And it's amazing because the one thing they didn't take into account is that Vegas was going to recover big. Because if they did, they would realize that they were impacting the tax base for a decade to come, or maybe even 2 decades to come.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
quite literally where we're at in this process. So and that's why you can't count out Vegas. No. And I hate when people come here. There's a YouTube channel that comes to Vegas, and they're constantly they're in their car and they're filming the neighborhoods. Look how bad it is in Vegas because there's all this other stuff going on, dude.
They're in the wrong neighborhood.
I can go into any city and come up with that content.
Hell yeah.
Plus I can edit it together and make it look, really miserable.
Like it's all bad.
Not to make light of where. So Dennis used to live in an area of town that was identified as having some blight. But you know what's interesting? There's very little crime in that area of town. You know what I mean? It doesn't look all that great.
Right.
There's people, it's a lower income place, and people aren't really attentive to some of that. But interestingly, if you pull up crime rates, it's really low on the crime rate. These people are working, they're going home. So on the surface, just because it looks a certain way doesn't mean it is something. Some of the biggest crime neighborhoods, some of the biggest neighborhoods in town that have to deal with lots of theft and vandalism are in Summerlin. Because that's where people have garages and houses.
We had our car stolen right out in front of our house.
So that's the real takeaway. So going down and seeing a few homeless people on the corner,
no, that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't translate. I love the Naked City comparisons, especially now, and that's this guy goes to Naked City. It's like most dangerous place. BS. It's not true. That's years ago. That was absolutely 100% a thing. So if you lived there 20 years ago, 15 years ago, there was a lot of issues that they had in Naked City.
Now, when you say Naked City, what is that?
It's the area behind the Tropicana. It's basically.
Oh yeah, okay. I know where you're talking about.
But we've been
behind
back
the Strat,
there, behind the Strat, not Tropicana, behind the Strat.
Behind the Strat. Okay.
Behind the Strat.
My favorite sushi bar used to be over there.
About 15 years ago, there was a taxi driver who was kind of lit on fire. at the end of a
Oh, my
fair,
God.
and so that's where it became really notorious. And a lot
they
of
tip
drug
him?
use, a lot of drug activity, a lot of weeklies were back there. Pardon? They caught the guy. I mean, they
Oh,
found
yeah.
him. But you used to have to show an ID. A taxi cab wasn't allowed to even take you in that neighborhood unless you had an ID showing you lived there, because it was a lot
Too
of
much crime,
ladies
yeah.
of the night.
A lot of prostitutes.
A lot of
yeah.
prostitutes, a lot of stuff, and none of that. I've driven through there so many times, and we have never seen it. The guy's like, look at how many people are out on the street. They're on the street, dude, because there's a community center, and they're safe enough to be out on the street.
Right, yeah,
They're not on the
exactly.
street causing trouble. So stop making stuff up. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Go to the real neighborhoods, like Charleston and Lamb, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
you
Like,
go.
go
There
to
you go.
Crossroads where they have drive-through drug, something like this. So
I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, one time I got on the wrong bus coming home from school, and I saw parts of Vegas that amazed me, but none of them are where any tourist could walk through it. You're not going to see that in
Yeah.
the city. Most where the average person lives is great. We have a very high quality of life. That's why everybody moves here.
I mean, I love when they look at. There was one area, there was one period of time during the pandemic where there was a series, a spate of aggressions. Okay, there were issues on the Strip. Where one guy was shot. There was
heard
a
about
bus
that,
that was hijacked in front of the. Not really hijacked. There was some dude who didn't want to get off the bus, and they were like, "It's a hijack." It's not a hijack. He didn't want to get off the bus. There was nobody on the bus. It was this dude on the bus. But these things happen everywhere. And let me just say that. And if you're not affiliated with a gang, a lot of this was gang activity.
Right.
Because a lot of them got stimulus checks. And guess what you do? If you're in a gang and you get a stimulus check, you come to Vegas.
Go to Vegas.
You get a scooter. You line up all your scooters and off you go,
Yeah.
dude. And so this is what happened. And so but for those of us I'm not in a gang. Are you in a gang?
Not racing.
Okay, we're not in a gang. Not recently. He's like, I'm in the genius gang. See my hat? But I mean, for those of us not in a gang, there were two motorcycle gangs on the highway that had a shootout. And everybody was like, "Oh my God, crime is up!" Crime is up between the motorcycle gangs.
Right.
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? I'm not in a motorcycle game. For me, not so much of an issue.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no.
Now, I'm not trying to downplay anything else that's going on. There are absolutely crazy people out there.
Yeah, but
anyway,
when I used to drive home at 4 o'clock in the morning, I would pass little old ladies walking their dog in the middle of the night. It
Yeah.
is not a dangerous place to live. That's a
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. So here, let's go the other. Okay. Do I have any more questions, young man?
No, you can keep going.
All right. So the next thing I wanted to address is the rent and housing.
Now there's a problem. That's a problem.
Me and him are gonna start an argument in a minute, but go ahead.
It's the renting is just outrageously expensive, and when things do, things that are rentals are getting bought up, condos, things
Yeah.
like that, by corporations that are then renting them. It has gotten really expensive to live here as far as a rental, and just hard to get one.
Yep. You know what the biggest news today is? Affordable housing starts are up in Vegas. So amazingly, Las Vegas, Clark County, Henderson is actively working on building affordable housing.
I heard this.
And working on requiring, and this is a thing that goes on in LA, where X amount of, if you manage or own or develop a certain number of rental units, a certain percentage of them have to be considered affordable housing. And that's absolutely a thing. So if you fall under a certain median income, you can apply for affordable housing. Right now they're tapped. You're going to end up on a little bit of a waiting list. But in the near future, we're expecting to increase our inventories. You want to know another thing I was involved with in 2008 or 2006 actually, when I started getting involved in politics, was the Henderson Mayor. I won't go over like the politics of it, but one of the things that they kickstarted was these affordable senior living. And
Wow.
the mayor of Henderson at the time was wholly responsible for building, funding, and creating all this affordable housing for seniors. And they built this and not for nothing. It was a really nice building.
Where was it?
So it's there's a community center right next to it. It's like red, and it's got really nice balconies. There's two now, but it's not off of Water Street, because Water Street is where we did like our thing. I'll have to look it up. All I know is I went to the community center, and the number of people, there's a community center just set off of where this is. You can see it as you go. If I'm gonna have to get back to you.
Okay.
It's if you go to Lake Mead and then you take a right, it's literally after Water Street by a little bit, but it's but I'd have to like trace it down. But anyways, you should see how excited and $400 a month, and this is.
Wow,
There was
that's
it was
fantastic,
it was
yeah.
I mean this was in 2006 maybe 2007, but they had a nurse on staff because this was elderly housing. This is 55 plus housing, affordable housing. So I know for a fact that this area is a little ahead of the curve when it comes to these kinds of things. You have other communities that are very reactive, and and not to give Vegas too many props in this area, too many pox, but because they're not proactive in a lot of areas. The transportation grid out here sucks okay? So, and they're way behind the curve on that because a few morons years ago decided that we're only going to have 800,000 people as of the year 2000. Instead
Yeah,
we had
that happened.
millions. You follow? And so they didn't invest in light rail like they were supposed, even though they hire these consulting companies that tell them, listen, let's get some light rail in here. Let's get some.
They couldn't get anybody to agree on it.
And they're like, no, more buses. We need more buses. Buses is the answer, okay?
Yeah,
100% the buses. Yeah.
That works
Not the
wonderful.
buses. We needed Elon Musk to come in and build some tunnels, dude. Just circumvent the whole flipping
have
thing.
you done that yet?
By the way, we're going to get to that last because that's exciting stuff.
Okay,
We're going to get to
'cause
that
I'm
last.
interested in that.
All right, where are we at in this? Oh, my God. We've already been here an hour with you, buddy. How time
Holy
flies.
moly, am I fun or what?
All right, well, I just have a few topics. I'm going to try to stay linear because I do think we have a few people who are interested. And, and I want to be part of this community, and all these things play a role. So one is rents. Rents have gone up. It's not as easy to find a place, but what we tell everybody is if you're planning to come to Vegas, right, look for a house, share a house. There's a lot of houses, a lot of rentals, a lot of house rooms and houses that people are renting out, especially now because of an inflation. There are some inflationary issues. So people that might not have been renting a room, we just had someone who came out here just recently, found a place in a house very reasonable, $500 in a nice house. And because people who own houses, they have bills too. And if they're paying more on power and gas,
Oh yeah,
which
we had
are,
a roommate for years, and it really worked well. It was one of the best things we ever did. We're still friends.
so a lot more rooms coming on the market. So do that. Rentals, as far as apartment rentals, tough, dude. A lot of companies, a lot of rich people from California coming here and staying in these things.
And they want large deposits. You got to show proof of a job. You know, 20 years ago, you came to get an apartment. You just gave them money, and they were happy to have you. Anymore, you got to prove that you're an upstanding citizen. You got to have a good credit rate, and your job has got to pay a certain amount. And one person has to be the signer for the paperwork for the apartment.
Like
so
a guarantor.
Yeah, exactly. It's very tough.
The housing market out here, new houses. So there are new houses that are coming up, but of course with interest rates, you don't have the long lines of people in line to buy these houses. They used to sell out instantly when interest rates were 3%. Now that's no longer a thing. There some of the builders that are being stuck with inventory of houses are incentivizing you know, and there are options, by the way, for houses. So you can pay down your rate, so you're not stuck with some ungodly rate. And sellers now are paying in some cases, so you can get a seller to help you pay down your rate.
Oh yeah.
So that you can get a more affordable rate. Or think about this: you can, where you were going to pay full price for a new house, you can negotiate X amount of dollars to make up for. Yes, you're paying a higher rate, but by paying less for the house, you can look at the total benefit would have been close to you having a lower rate of interest.
Right.
And then I'm not saying this is for everybody. What I'm saying is there's options out there. Vegas is not untouchable. It's not like some other markets. I have seen houses now where prices have been chopped by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even, especially in that, mid-tier zone, house prices are starting to go down to entice. There's just no buyers. Everyone's sitting out waiting. But if you're someone who likes to take the thing, so, there's that. All right. I will say this. As much as there's a lot of gloom and doom, I have yet to run into a situation where casinos are like, we have one casino who said we're full, where we're only going to hire very sparingly. One casino. And it's a casino that hasn't had the biggest turnover recently anyway, so it's not a thing. But every other casino in minutes. So I don't see any pullback there. As far as the money goes, the money has been the same or better. So as much as there's been a pullback in some of the some of the like, listen, we just had someone that we know who does table for table made $1,100 the other day.
Wow.
At Cosmo's making more money than ever. MGM is doing great. I mean, all these casinos are doing great. The money's
Things
there.
are not down in the casinos. The casinos are excited, and they're hiring as fast as they can get them in there.
Arizona needs crap dealers. Colorado needs crap dealers. East Coast needs dealers. All these casinos have been reaching out, talking about poker is back. I mean, I just don't see, as much as I've been, and I'm not always the most positive, as much as I like to project positivity here. I gotta say, having these businesses and having employees, we have to look at everything carefully, and we need to know, because I don't want to ever have to lay off anybody, unless they suck, but not because the economy sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to have to hire somebody and get them invested in this job, and then ultimately I gotta let them go. So we try to be very frugal. We try to just meet our specific demands, and so far I really haven't seen anything in a material way. Not to say that that's not coming. You know what I mean? Not to say that there's some negativity down the line, but I think for the most part, the investment is being made in Vegas. It's going to keep getting made in Vegas. There's a lot of new projects on the horizon, and ultimately we're a year or two out. Market's going to recover. Yeah, I mean, what happened? We just died. We just died, dude. One of the cameras just died. Oh,
there it is.
We lost camera 2, 3. We lost Dan.
Where'd he go?
Is that what happened? Oh, there you are, buddy.
Danger,
wow.
Will
Little
Robinson.
minor glitch. All right, well, we got to give something away, no?
We're at 83 licks.
Wow, let's give something away. We got to give something away. We always have to give something away.
There are 83 people out there that like you.
Well, luckily we get more
Unbelievable.
views after the fact, and we don't exaggerate our reviews.
Right.
We don't claim to have, you know what I mean?
No.
We love that you guys are sharing your time with us, and we love that you're listening to us after the fact. So if you're one of those who... We're not, I'm just going to say Shopify. What is it? Spotify. We're on Spotify, Anchor App. We're on all of them. Dennis uploads them after the fact, so if you want to listen to me in your car. Can you imagine people listen to me in their car, dude?
Not even a little.
They're actually listening to me. My mother would be like stunned. Wall Street Journal called us, did an interview.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm very
Really?
serious. I thought it was a crank call at first, and then when she told me who she was, I'm on the phone with this lady, because my dream is, I've been reading the Wall Street Journal since I was a kid.
Yeah, everybody has.
I was a big economics
You
nerd.
made it.
And this lady calls me, and she wants me to comment on the economy from the standpoint of people trying to get jobs, right? That makes sense, because we're a school.
Right.
And so she calls me, and I'm like, hold on a second. What's your name? Can you spell that out for me? I put the phone on, I go on the internet, and I'm like, holy crap, this is an actual person, who writes stories to the Wall Street Journal. I get back on the phone with her, and she's like, yeah, would you like to do an interview? And I'm like, listen, hold on a second. I put the phone down, and I'm like, I got to call my mom. Hold on a sec. You know what I mean? And the whole time, I'm not even realizing, look, this lady might hang up on me.
Right.
You know what
I
mean?
would have hung up on you.
You know what I mean? Like, what this crazy person is going to have. I'm from the Wall Street Journal.
She
The
probably
hell-
has this happen all the time.
You better answer my damn phone. But I was like so excited. I'm like, listen, just the fact that you called and asked me for an interview, I'm going to have to call my mother first. I got to calm the hell down, and then I'll let you know. I get back on the thing, and I told her, by the way, this is a fantastic woman. She came out, of all the people that came out, because we got interviewed by a lot of different news, right? We got all the national, CNN, Politico. CNN wasn't bad, but they all came out, talked to us. This was either right after pandemic or pre-pandemic. We talked to all. It was quite something, by the way.
Yeah.
So I ended up in Wall Street Journal. Fantastic article about how obviously it wasn't all fantastic. There was some doom and gloom. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Things are going on. Shit's happening. But it wasn't like, stick a fork in Vegas. Everybody there is gonna, be dead and broken, 2 years. It was, what I mean? It was nice. But there were some articles that came out and they're like, yeah, because I never. It's
the
not
end
that
of Las Vegas.
So they took my quotes, and as much as I was trying to be positive, you know what I mean? They were making it sound like they would take like the one sentence where. And not to say that it's all fake news, but I can see where the news plays around with
change with what you
based on their op-ed, like what they want to put out there. They make it sound different.
half a sentence.
Yeah, but man, that Wall Street Journal, we have reframed it. Pat, one of our supporters, intern here, I think he framed it for us. Put it right, Pat.
Yeah,
I
Pat
think
framed
it, put it on the wall, and I gotta tell you. By the way, my mother could care less, dude. Swear to God. I called her and
Really?
she's like, huh? Who's that?
You
What?
impressed me. I was
I was
amazed.
like, it's the Wall Street Journal, Mom. Put the horn in your ear, dude. Look it up, okay? He's like, where is that? Is that in New York? I'm like, oh, God. Anyways, let's give away something. What are we going to give away, buddy?
Well, really quickly,
Huh?
we have a $10 super chat from Christopher Bird. Says, helping with the CEG power bill.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. The power here is absurd,
Oh,
dude.
it's
The ceilings
ridiculous.
are so flipping high. It's just a lot of air circulating, and you can't turn these fans off. Or you come in here and it's so hot. You got to keep it circulating. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or you just sweat like I could just a
Oh, yeah.
lot of
Okay,
sweating.
anyways,
dude.
Anthony gave us a $4.99. It says, I think David mentioned before that Blackhawk dealers can make over six figures.
Yeah.
Why are they getting paid so much?
Toke rate is absolutely absurd. You know what I found? I find like in certain areas of the world, people are either super generous or super not generous.
what is
and
a Blackhawk deal?
So Colorado, people drive all the way hell up there. They lose their mind. They get so excited. By the time you get up into that high mountain air, and where it's the air is a little thin, oxygen's a little thin, apparently you become a big toker.
Wow.
And you just leave all your money on
Are
the
they
damn
still
table.
flat bet up there?
No.
No,
They,
you
no,
can bet
they,
anything you want.
you can bet. I think they set the limits at 5,000 in some places. Some of you guys are correct me.
Wow.
It used to be an absurd flat bet thing. It was-
$10 a hand, no matter what. Yeah.
I mean, and it was so silly. Now you could now it's literally the wild, wild
It's
west,
normal
dude.
gambling. Yeah.
We've had a few casinos reach out to us and ask, dude, whatever you do, if you're gonna go to school or you're gonna learn, you want to be into gaming, learn to be a dice dealer. If you're a dice dealer, okay, first of all,
Roulette dealer.
or a roulette. So the path on roulette is roulette SR. Once
Yeah.
you get to SR, now you're at that high tier. Craps gives you, you're looked on famously. You can walk around
Craps
with.
dealers are the best in the casino. No
I mean,
doubt
we
about it.
are the best
Yeah.
in the casino. Let's just be realistic.
There,
Okay?
when you get a student into dealing school,
Yes.
you talk to him for a few minutes, and
Yes.
pretty soon you realize he's either smart and he's going to be a craps dealer, or he's not that smart. And he's
Oh
gonna
my
be
God! I feel
everything
bad
else.
for all those people who just want blackjack now.
Well, and, I mean, bear in mind, I started with blackjack, so you know where.
Yeah, but you become SR.
Yeah.
Craps is big. Arizona's trying to add craps dealers. They don't have enough crap dealers. That's why we're going to try to put out a course. You gotta. We're trying to put up. We have another lesson going up here as soon as Dennis can get to it, and it's really about. It's me teaching, without any notes, just what I've been doing for years now, a very open-ended kind of discussion I have, and it's a very poignant way to understand craps and simplify it. Get away from the math. Get away from all the nonsense and just break it down into this level. It's amazing because people get stuck. Even players, they get stuck on the silly things, and I can help you get past that. That's what he does, by the way. Because SR on the surface is tough.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you
The
can break it
math
down,
is, but-
math can be tough. You work in colors and units, dude.
It's
That's
simple. It really is
Yeah.
not as complicated as people make it
It
out.
looks flipping complicated, though.
And
let
the
me
truth
tell you.
is, the dealer knows all the math. You don't need to know the math. You just go play.
That's right.
He's
yeah.
gonna
By the way,
fix it.
SR is single zero for anyone who
Single
doesn't know.
zero.
Single zero, yeah.
They- sometimes referred to as European roulette. No, that
Same thing.
in Europe they don't have double zero because they're not trying to screw over all.
So
their,
they just call it roulette, but
they
here
just
it's
call it
European roulette or
Yeah.
single zero SR.
It's quite something. All right, ready? Let's give something away. Can we give away? What haven't we give away? I really want to give away my favorite new ring. And if you haven't gotten your ring, it's because you didn't give us a ring size. You know who you are. We need a ring size because they're all different sizes. Unless we'll just send you the smallest ring size.
The pinky ring.
But look at this. So we have spinny rings, and I know you can't really see that. It's not, but I have two rings. It's not two rings. It's one ring with two dice on the black enamel. And here's what happens. Once you fidget this a little bit, you see that spinny? It is spinning fantastically.
They can't see a thing.
I know. Oh, there it is.
There it
So
is.
what you can do is you can ask. Look at that. You see how they spin? So we go through and make sure that these are the best quality. They spin. I'm working with one vendor. So you'll find these around, but they're not all the same. Okay. This won't leave a mark on your hand. They actually work nice. They're stainless steel. They're well constructed. And I've been fidgeting my ass off at these things
Every day, all day.
Literally all day long, I use them, and the enamel is good. Everything is fantastic. Anyways, I'm gonna give this away. So anytime you want to get a roll, think about me. Boom, Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. That's a 2. I rolled a 2. We're going to give this away, and let's call it. All right, so the word of the day is opportunity.
Opportunity.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite
Very nice.
words. Used to be check this out. Now it's opportunity because Vegas is all about opportunity. You know what I mean? 100%. All right, opportunity, and let's do it. So type it in. I'll let you actually tell them when to stop.
Well, you gotta give him a second.
No, we're gonna give him a second. We're gonna talk random things, dude. We're gonna have a random discussion. Oh, if you guys are coming to the party, you're gonna get a limited edition lanyard, and anybody that wins something, we're gonna be giving out a even more limited edition, a big fat ceramic chip with a new custom design that Dennis has designed. And it's a tiger. It's not this, actually, but it's going to be a big, fat ceramic. It's that size.
They look like the old Baccarat checks.
Oh, yeah, the oversized, yeah. And you'll get to that. By the way, it's the Year of the Tiger. It's this magnificent tiger face. Actually, Dennis and Jed have worked on this together. And wait till you see it. It's red, or it's gold. And what are the colors? Gold and black?
Red and gold.
Red and gold. There, I was close. I was on the same, color spectrum
They're all
somewhere.
colors.
Anyway, what do you think about, you think coronavirus is coming back? You think it's gone, or what do you think? You think it's coming back?
I think we're learning to live with it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, like the flu, dude.
Yep.
We're just gonna have a little more flu. Every
Well,
year.
I mean, it is the flu.
It is the flu.
basically. I mean,
it's a
it's a
nasty
different
flu.
variant, but
My God, man. All right. Is everybody typing it in?
Yep.
We're gonna give this away. All right, fantastic. And here we go. We got to thank all of you guys. Before we have you stop because they're pounding away.
they're pounding away.
pounding
Okay,
away.
let's stop.
There you go.
1 through 20.
Pick a number, buddy.
17.
Ooh.
There's a roulette number.
Make Dennis count. Make him work for it, dude. He's got to count down. What do you got?
Ryan, I'm gonna butcher your last name, Jalemo. You're the winner.
Guillermo?
No, it starts with a J.
Jay? Oh, all right. Ryan or Brian?
Ryan.
Ryan, you won. So here's what we need. Your address, he's going to DM you. Dennis is going to DM you. That is direct message for those
It's
of
not
you
really a
who
direct
are...
message, but okay.
Is it? What is it?
It's not really a direct message.
It's
but
not?
Okay.
What is it you're doing then?
I'm just adding them on the chat.
What a little bastard, dude. Just
There you
talking
go.
some shit. Used to be called
He's direct
anyway.
messaging
He's going to
you.
let you
Yeah,
know
pretty
what
much.
you need to do. We need your address, believe it or not. A firstborn child. And not a firstborn child.
The keys to your house.
If you have a house. If you don't have a house, don't worry
The
about it.
car's okay.
Yeah, the car. We'll take the car. And your ring size, because they come in sizes up to 12 only. Unfortunately, in order to get this to ring 13, I would have had to order another 500, which I didn't have the money to order 500. You know what? Before we leave, we just got a few little ancillary things, and now is when you can sort of tap out, go home, take a piss, whatever you need to do. But we are working on evolving, so our videos are coming out with a Patreon attachment. So those of you who have been experiencing our strategies on dice, they are going to be followed with the PDF worksheet for that strategy. So we are committed to. We have a great system out now. It's on the YouTube channel. It's called Squeeze Play. We love it, dude. It's Alex's new favorite. It's all of our new favorite system that we've been playing. And we're going to have this strategy. So we worked it out on high limit. So on Patreon, we added like the ridiculous high limit version. We played it out on a $500 table.
Well, they're gonna see the quarter game this Friday.
This quarter game on YouTube or Patreon?
Both, I believe.
Both. Le deux. And then, so we're going to have these worksheets now accompany this. So if you're on Patreon, you'll have that. And instead of us, I know a lot of people come out here and they're, that's one of the things that with Dice with David, they're always asking me, it's the units. A lot of you work on the units mentality and sort of, the opportunity thing. And I base everything on my experience as a dealer for all these years. And no nonsense. If you're looking for something silly, or I can help you work out. If you have a system of your own, you just want to play through and you want to work on units, that's great too. It's your money, your fun, your time in Vegas. I'm happy to help you. But when it comes to, if you ask me a direct question, I'm going to give you a direct answer. Always the question is, what have I seen work? I've seen a couple basic types of systems work.
Right.
And we can talk about the math, and we can go into all the other things all day long, but I've only seen a couple basic systems, which I'm assuming is also the same for most of the games here in Vegas. They work a few ways. That's it.
And that's it. All the rest is just
It's just
people
filler.
entertaining themselves.
And Vegas loves you for it. Thanks
Yeah,
for your
we love it.
contribution. Yeah. Keep us employed. Don't forget
System
to tip.
gamblers are one of the basics of Vegas. We love you.
Come with your sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Come with your cheat sheet. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
We have a couple super chats.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. We love those.
Number one is Brian with Time from UK. $10 says, coming to Vegas in 3 weeks, definitely visiting the store. Great channel, guys.
But thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yes, we're here at Fashion Show and by Dillard's, between Nordstrom's and Dillard's on the second floor. And
Right in the heart of all the casinos. I mean, there's no
Literally.
better place to be, really.
we're walking distance to we're besides Resort World. We're across to Venetian Wynn. Treasure Island's on the other side. Pretty
Dead
good
heart
spot.
of the strip. Yep.
Pretty good spot.
Yep.
All right, what do you think?
And then Robert Barnes gave us $2.
Mr. B, he's loaded.
Says,
He's loaded.
how do I purchase an OOF/Genius hat?
Yeah. So we are going down to, quite literally, we have to remind it, we are going to go into the our new marketing event, and we're going to get these hats made. So, by the way, Taylor got me this hat, and the Genius hat was made by Ronnie, right? And now we're going to go get these hats with the Casino Quest in the back. These are going to be casino. It makes sense, dude. It makes sense. You show up at the casino with the confidence of being a genius, dude. And that's how you evolve. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how your dealer's going to cheat you, but at that point, you really don't care, dude.
Nah.
I've actually walked around with this hat all day and forgotten it's on because I usually wear it for special occasions, dude.
Oh, I see.
Anytime I'm having a discussion with Dennis, I wear the hat, dude. He has to know his place and yeah, exactly.
His
So,
place.
look at that,
And that's his place, obviously.
and
Yeah.
and so I wear this hat to let him know. And my mother's like, I told you, because my mother I used to tell her, listen, stop that. But here we go. Now I have the hat, Ma. Aren't you proud of me?
My son's a genius.
So yeah, we're gonna go get these hats. We're gonna make these available. Go
Really
ahead.
quickly, one more thing. Patty Galloway. Not Patty Galloway. Patty, our Patty,
Our Patty?
gave us $8.99. Said, had an awesome time with you guys last month. Thank you. And can't, what a roll by Alex at hitting the ATS. Can't wait till next time.
Oh, I know. That. By the way, that was freaky deaky. So Alex is like, so Patty takes us out to eat. We have a fantastic meal, by the way. And then Alex is like, don't worry about it because we're going to win it back on dice, which is, everybody says that,
Oh, yeah.
right? Everybody's like, hey, we're going to go hit a slot machine. We're going to win back a whole vacation. Don't worry about it, honey.
No problem.
I got this. You know what I mean? We'll put that plane ticket on black and everything is going to be fine. Don't worry about it. And it actually worked out.
Wow.
Alex took out, him and Patty went and hit the casino. I bet Alex or one of you guys rolled the ATS. I think Alex did. And they took a whole bunch of money off the game, paid for everything, dude. He was very excited.
That's great. Yeah.
Normally it doesn't work out so well.
No.
Fantastic dinner, by the way. We were served no cod, just so you know. There was no cod at that dinner. We were missing the cod.
Where'd you go?
You're not in on that one.
No,
You're not
I'm
in
not
on that
in on
one.
that
It's
joke.
a little over your head, sir.
Okay. I've always been.
Let
a
me
little
just
short.
say, people are suffering under the cod shortage in other parts of the world.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
You heard
Yeah.
that too?
I've heard the cod
Shortage?
yes.
Oh my God! See, I have a witness there.
That's why the Chinese fishing boats are going so far afield.
Oh
is
my
that
God, are you kidding me?
the
This is a thing?
reduction- Yeah, oh God, yes.
Oh my God, see?
Several of the countries
See?
in South
I've
America
been telling you guys.
sunk Chinese fishing boats because they were fishing in their territorial
They were taking the
waters.
cod.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people are at risk of cod fish.
Oh, we've
my
got
God!
cod failure.
Oh my God! You've heard
Yeah.
it here, everybody. Holy smokes!
Anyways, Ace sent us $7.77. Said, had a blast during DiceCon. Just missed that ATS roll.
Yeah. By the way, can I just say, how come it's so blurry? Those my glasses or that's the screen? What's going on here? We loved having you guys. That was fantastic. It was epic experience. I got to meet a lot of really interesting people. A lot of other channels. We had Wager Me This. We had Pro Craps here. It's just so cool. People who really love this game. It's amazing. I say love this game like that's the only game. I'm mostly a dice guy, right? but it's so cool to run into people who love dice.
Let's be honest. A lot of the history of gaming is tied to dice, right?
Really? Yeah.
Historically, it was one of the very first.
Well, my history for sure has been tied to dice. I became an older man. Mm-hmm. Not as old as some people, though, but just older.
Robert Barnes gave us $2 and said, I left the table right before Alex hit the ATS.
Oh, really? That's timing, dude. You know, he cashed out of that game at Binion's, too, right before I think Jet rolled the roll. Dude, you need to stay in the game a little longer, okay? I think he bailed right before Jet, because I was standing next to him on that table at Binion's. No?
And you bailed, too, technically.
Listen here, dude. I'm not talking about me. Do you see me talking about me? I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about other people.
For those non-experienced.
Yeah, for those not. All right, what else do we got? Anything else?
I think we're good. I think
we're good.
That's
All right, we're going to sign off. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate you. All love and support. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep the emails coming, even though I can't respond to all of them. I read everything, but I don't always have the time to respond. And I can't wait till August 17th to see everybody. If you haven't already, make sure to go to CasinoQuest.biz and go to the Birthday Bash button. Hit the button. Go down to... you get all the details. They're all there. Who to call, who to contact, email, phone, everything, all that stuff. And by the way, if you're still here and you haven't subscribed, please like and subscribe. Don't forget we have Casino Quest channel too on YouTube. So there's that. We come up with dice content, all sorts of stuff. Dennis and Jet have been working hard on really upgrading the quality of the videos, even on Patreon. We have a new editor, Brendan, new photographer. Nathan, we also have we've been putting out TikToks, Instagram, so we're on all the platforms now. So don't forget to let them know that you appreciate their hard work. They do some really fantastic work. We have a wonderful team. So thank you guys very much. Thank you everybody who's out there, and we'll see you next time. So next Tuesday, we're gonna have another exciting show. We're not really sure what the hell we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about something, and there you go. That's what you get. All right. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Very nice.